Welcome back everyone, this is Starion from Starion Gaming. Today we're running the instance known as Blackrock Caverns. This is actually an instance that was added in the Cataclysm expansion. So let's get into it and let's go. And as you can see, there's also an archaeology buff here you can get if you have a runestone from Dwarf. Now you're coming up to the first boss, which is right there, Rumgar Bone Crusher. Now if you're going to fight him, the ideal thing is to actually pull the two groups and this one pat that walks around.
I need a target.
Because if you don't, it's going to be a very painful fight. You don't have to worry about these ads later. You'll see soon why. But let's bring him up. As you can see, he has Quake. Especially on Heroic. After Quake, he summons up an Angered Earth Elemental. Basically just knock that sucker out and you're okay. Chains of Woe is active when he hits 66 and 33% of his health. Basically, a giant ball of chains show up and you'll get chained to it. You need to destroy the chains and run away from him, because the moment he casts Skull Crasher, even the tank most likely will not survive. Less DPS than a healer. Wounding Strike is more or less a mortal strike. Basically gives you reduced healing by 25% for 10 seconds. Now we're just going to go up and hit him with a Fire Blast, and you'll see what happens next. Basically, your quest chain has you following this guy around this whole instance, more or less. So, and as you can see, he takes care of a couple of the ads on your way there, so you don't have to worry about fighting them. Now, as you see, he jumps off, but you'll meet up with him later. Now, if you're going to shortcut to the boss here, you can take the left turn. But you need to... Anyone who has pets, minions, or whatever needs to dismiss them, or they literally will run the whole way around and pull every little thing they can. And especially these evolved Twilight Zealots, one of them's bad to fight enough as it is. Fighting two of them to three of them, it's a nightmare. Now my elemental shouldn't pull them. Hopefully. Yep. Now this is a unique boss fight, especially on Heroic. Korra, the Herald of Twilight. Evolution. As you can see, there's 3 ads here. During the fight, they're going to have beams on them. And as you can see, they have the buff where they take 99% reduced damage. So you don't even worry about them. But during the fight, there will be beams cast on them. One person needs to stand in the way of the beam. Because if they, as you can see, the Evolved Zealot, if they get to 100 stacks of the evolution buff, they turn into an Evolved Twilight Zealot. But the thing is, you're going to also get the buff if you stay in front of the beam too. So you have to switch off with people as well. Basically, you need to have like 2 people stand at one each mob, and then when this mob gets close to 70 to 80, have another player run in there, take that off, and 2 players here would go back to DPS the boss, and when they get back to 70, 80, you switch back in because debuff wears off after a little bit. So, it's all about rotating people to make sure the buff doesn't hit 100% on stacks. Now for her, she has a buff that accelerates movement speed and their attack speed. Won't have to worry about that as long as no one transforms. Also, on Dark Command, she issues causing a Dark Command causes a random player to flee in terror. So basically, you want to kill the patrolling dragonoid here, and then the group you saw come up behind me. That way, you can avoid any unnecessary pulls. I'm going to show you what the beams look like.
Heretics!
As you can see,
you will suffer for this interruption.
You stand in front of the beam, and as you can see, you gotta make sure you don't let it get to 100.
For the master, I die 1,000 times! 1,000!
Smash!
And as you see, our buddy comes back to clear out the pathway for us. He gets a nice little buff where he gets increased damage by 500, so... And then here's your next boss. Kargas Steelbender. This fight is unique. As you see, the boss has the buff known as Quicksilver Armor. He has 99% damage reduction when cooled. Now, you need to run him through... I guess you would call this the lava flow. Actually, no, it's a steam of molten metal. You get that correct, since it says it right there. You run him through that, but do not keep him in that. But it also, though, if you keep him in there long enough, he takes increased damage for every stack by 5%. But while he's under the molten stream of metal, he emits a heat wave, doing fire damage. And it gets even stronger by the stacks he has of superheated Quicksilver Armor. And while he has that debuff on him, he does fire damage to the current target he hits. And it gets stronger depending on how many stacks he has on him. He also has a standard cleave and a lava spout. When it superheated Quicksilver expires, his armor cools off. It causes lava spouts to erupt from the circular grate as you see here. So for that debuff runs off, you do not want to be standing there. You're going to get hit by a lava spout. Now, there is an achievement related to this guy, keeping him under here to get a certain number of stats.
Bodies to test my armaments are piled. We number in the millions. Your efforts are wasted.
Now, if you're wondering what I did wrong there, chances are he might have hit my blazing barrier, which, as you can see, that's what happened, and that's what KO'd him. Sometimes I forget I have 3 types of barriers on this person. Now there's an optional boss here as a bonus objective known as Beauty. Beauty actually, if you remember back in Blackrock Spire, the Beast, this is his mate. Now, during this fight, you're actually going to have these little core hounds here to fight, which... There should be a third one somewhere. Weird. Runty's back there. There's Spot. There's Lucky. But where's Buster? He's got a... see. Sorry, it's only 2. My bad. I thought all 3 were in here on Heroic, but okay. Basically, they just got a Fire Breath they channel and a Lava Drill that causes a little lava pool. Now for Beauty, she has a charge that will knock away the target. Her Flame Break basically is a Fire Nova that inflicts fire damage to everyone within yards, a certain distance, and knocks them back. She has her Fear, which is known as Terrifying Roar, and Magma Spit. She fires this at a random enemy player, inflicting fire damage, plus leaving a fire dot on them that ticks every 3 seconds for 9 seconds. When it expires or is removed, additional magma blobs are launched from the player. So basically, you don't want to be standing near anyone when that goes off. Now another little bit thing here is these defiled Earth Ragers, they cast an ability basically as a meteor. You gotta be careful of that because it can do massive damage.
Raz, smash! Raz, tired.
And he just basically killed Raz. Now the Ascendant Lord Obsidians, as you can see, he has 3 little miniature copies of himself. Basically at 69% health and 34% health, he switches himself into one of them. Basically, you just got to keep your eye on which one he's in, the DPS. His ability known as Stone Blow does melee damage and stuns the target for 1.5 seconds. Twilight Corruption, which is a magic effect, basically targets a random player, causing them to take shadow damage over 12 seconds. Thunderclap, just like a Warrior's Thunderclap, does nature damage and reduces movement speed. Now, as you see, there are 3 Shadows of Obsidius. On Heroic, that is what there is. On Normal, there are 2, I believe. Basically, you need to DPS the one who currently is basically the Ascendant Lord. You don't want to take the shadow.
I cannot be untold. Only have them. Look upon your answer to living.
And you can see there's Finkel Einhorn, if you remember him. But this has been the Blackrock Caverns. This is Staring from Staring Gaming saying, please like and subscribe to these videos. And also go check out the Twitch channel. We're currently working on trying to get ourselves to... What's that word again? Get myself to the next level where I can start making some funds to better these channels here on Twitch and YouTube. And the word is I'm trying to become an affiliate with Twitch. I'm also aiming to be a partner on YouTube. So if you follow, that helps me in the long run. It helps me better this channel. So all I gotta say is I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.